Whether it is becoming the biggest of all big car manufacturers in the world, making diesels great again, or just making great cars, we know one thing for sure: if the Volkswagen Group does something, they do it good. Making diesels great again or just making fantastic cars, one thing is for sure: if Volkswagen does something, it does so with overwhelming force. You could also say conquering the world is in their DNA. And now that the Volkswagen Group is entering Formula 1, you can be sure of one thing: this will change the sport immediately. So, what will their influence be? Let's dive in. On the 7th of April 2022, it was finally revealed officially that the board of directors of the Volkswagen Group have given their green light to enter Formula 1. And it does so with its two most prestigious brands, Audi and Porsche. As it was rumored for years, it didn't really come as a real surprise, but it still is a very big deal. First of all, because it is the first time in history that the German car maker steps into the sport. And secondly, because they decided to go big with their most important brands. And thirdly, they already made their influence count. Rumor had it that they were the main proponents of ditching the ragingly expensive and useless MGUH for the 2026 engine rules, and they already attended the Formula 1 manufacturers' meetings. And that's only the beginning. They're sure to be a driving force towards renewable fuels and an engine cost cap. And because Formula 1 wants them in, they will be heard. They are set to enter the championship as soon as 2026, and that opens up one of the mightiest powertrain arm power wrestle games in the history of the sport. Now, as Dr. Helmut Marko recently said it, Red Bull Racing is the most attractive bride of all for a car manufacturer, and its brand values fit Porsche perfectly. It has one of the fastest cars on the grid and the reigning world champion in its cars. After Honda's departure from Formula 1, Red Bull decided to build its own engine facilities and took over almost the entire Honda F1 activities and people. Now this paves the way for multiple options. Red Bull could simply re-batch their own engine with any car manufacturing, offering tons of money, but they could also do it more gradually, maybe splitting production costs, or enter with a low fee, end up with a huge fee. And that is a real good deal for any manufacturer. Porsche could step in reasonably cheap and gradually increase their budgets if they want to. What's more, we heard through the grapevine that Porsche perspective was one of the reasons Verstappen signed his recent mega contract at Red Bull. And when the Germans do something, they do it good. So when the news broke last November that Audi plans to buy McLaren, everyone was shocked. But still, not really? McLaren Racing CEO Zak Brown immediately said the company was not for sale until it apparently was. McLaren is split up in different divisions, all with different shareholders, and Audi apparently is mainly interested in buying the Formula 1 division. Now, the first rumors was that Audi was about to offer 350 million euros, and at the moment figures of 650 million euros are rumored, so it's not entirely sure how much they will be paying or how much of a company they will actually get for that money. What is clear is that McLaren had a difficult couple of years and already had to sell one of its proudest assets, its Norman Foster design factory in Woking. The company is partly owned by Saudi and Qatari investment funds, the latter of whom are said to be looking to sell their stake. And yeah, to be honest, Audi would be a much more sensible parent. So what would Audi get out of this deal? First of all, a couple of 100 million euros is quite affordable to actually get results in Formula 1, considering the fact that a brand like Alfa Romeo pays around 50 million euros or more a year to sponsor Sauber. Plus, they kinda get a car company for free. Secondly, it's an interesting asset for the Volkswagen Group, thus eliminating some competition for its crown jewel Porsche. And last but not least, the board of directors at Volkswagen Group will be very pleased to really up the competition at Mercedes. And there is one more kid on the block. It's called Williams. Though they're using Mercedes engines at the moment, they've always resisted the idea they could be forced into obedience by former co-owner Toto Wolff. They've always fought hard for their independence. They're led by Just Capito, who has a great track record with Volkswagen as their rally boss. Behind the wheel, obviously, is Alex Albon, a Red Bull driver who's still under contract of the Austrian outfit. Now, all of this is speculation, but it's also exciting. And it is totally perceivable that Williams could be hitched to the Red Bull powertrain in the near future. And it would cut off one more client in for Mercedes, and some people in Wolfsburg will be absolutely happy. Now the big question is, how are they going to do that? Well, nobody really knows. The Volkswagen Group is definitely not the sort of club that would just rent some engines. If they do something, they do it good, remember? So, would they develop their own engines? It's pretty expensive and success definitely not guaranteed. Would they put their name tag on a Red Bull powertrain and use it in all different teams? It's cost effective, success guaranteed, but it would make them dependent on a different team, which is not really in their DNA. Or will they combine both options and develop one engine with Audi, put that in a McLaren, and rebatch the Red Bull powertrain engine as a Porsche and put it maybe in an AlphaTauri, maybe in a Williams, who knows? Or will they swing around and nick Sauber away from Alfa Romeo? They did develop their Le Mans cars there. Or are they planning something completely different, and are they planning to maybe nick away Sauber from Alfa Romeo? You know, they really did develop their Le Mans car there. Wow, this is exciting! Now believe me, this is going to change Formula One forever. Because remember, when they do something, they do it good. So, what are your ideas? Am I completely wrong, or am I just an idiot making some sensible remarks? Just let me know in the comments. Please do like, subscribe. Even if you don't like me and don't want to be subscribed, still do it. And see you next time.